All right, this is Stark Raving Totals. So, welcome to the segment, and we are back again. We run this segment Tuesday, Thursdays, Saturdays, and Sundays, 4:30 p.m. Eastern, and this is where we talk about totals. So, we have been doing this segment. Let me click off something here. We've been doing this segment for quite some time on Facebook Live. We just had our first segment on YouTube the other day, being Tuesday. Today's Thursday. We got one game here on the card we're going to look at. And yeah, this is where we talk about totals. You guys come in and give awesome comments, and we go ahead and we can also talk about sports on the day. We also talk about picks as well. It doesn't have to be just totals, but mainly that's the focus. Thus, the title, Stark Raving Totals. So we're going to get started here in just one sec. Do not forget, as always, sbrpicks.com. Sportsbook review, that's the main webpage. I always got that up, ready to, help me with my handicapping. I got it up right now because I want to talk about the line movement here with this Boston Milwaukee game. Our YouTube channel, that's this, of course. And don't forget also Facebook, our Facebook page. We got a lot of links on there that will actually take you to this YouTube channel or different handicappers and different links and things of that nature. Okay, so let's get this going. Let's have a good day. So we hit the other day with Boston Milwaukee under the 203. Let's take a look at this one. You guys come in and give some comments. I'll go ahead and I'll be commenting back to you as soon as I go ahead and give out basically my pick and my rundown of this game right here with the Bucks and the Celtics. So come on in, share the video. I got my coffee for those of you that don't know. I live in Japan, so it's the morning for me, but it's a good time to handicap a game and hopefully cash a ticket. All right, let's get this thing started. Okay. All right, my friends. Let me get this out of the way here. Again, technically, I think I got a little bit better. Things a little bit better organized than I did that first go around. So hopefully it'll smooth out as the more segments we're able to put together. So you guys come in, give some comments, and I'll definitely get back to you. Just give me a few seconds here to go ahead and get a breakdown on this one. I see you guys coming in. Um, Boston, Milwaukee. Gosh darn. So we did hit the under, and man, that game was ugly. That game was really ugly. They went for about 170 points. So this was an interesting line. So odds makers came out with 200 points on this one, which is kind of in par with what we've seen this season when these two teams have matched up because the pace has not been that fast. And right now, everybody's all over the over. Excuse me, they're all over the over. 64% of the public. And the line hasn't really budged, right? A couple places it's gone to 200 and a half. So I'll take the hook and I'm going under. And I'm going to go under. So I'm going against the public again. And this kind of reminds me a little bit, on a cursory note, it just reminds me of that Indiana Cleveland game yesterday where it was like 204, something like that, where it looked really enticing to go ahead and back the over. And they didn't get there. They would have got there in overtime, but LeBron hit that big shot. But for me, I can't see them getting there, guys. I just can't see them getting the 200 points. I think we're going to see another grind. Last time the Celtics played in Milwaukee, we had that 116 run length, 116-92 final. But the pace wasn't that fast. They got up just under 160 attempts combined. That's pretty slow. And then in the game before that, that real tight one, in which Boston made that really big comeback. Although Boston got up a lot of attempts, Milwaukee did not. We were looking at 160 attempts totals. The shooting percentages were okay in both of those matchups. So it's kind of one of those situations like where it's at 200 points. It looks like, gosh, they really should go over. I mean, that's a really low total, but it's really not when you look at these two teams and you look at them statistically, because when you start to, break them down, especially like in the home and away disparities, Boston is not a very good shooting team on the road. They're shooting just 44.4% overall when they travel. They do shoot well from distance. They do shoot well from distance. They've been doing that all year, but that's Brad Stevens. And we're talking about two teams that can defend decently well. Milwaukee, they're going to defend a lot better on their home court. Boston's been great all season. They can really defend from beyond the arc, allowing opponents to shoot just over 34%. Milwaukee has been not very good in that capacity, but overall, they're not bad from the interior extended. They've been good, 51% on 2-point shooting, and they don't allow a lot of tempo. You look at their pace. Right now, Milwaukee's allowing opponents just 83.7 attempts per game. That's fourth in the NBA. So they can defend. And again, back to what I said on Tuesday, I like how they match up. I just like how they match up. So, for me, this isn't going to be a really long breakdown. I can get into a lot more, but that would just probably bore you guys to death. Statistically wise, I mean, both teams can shoot. They're both efficient, but I just like the matchups. I like, and the pace is just not going to be there. I don't see an up tempo affair. That last game, I'm not. That last game was so ugly. I don't even want to get into it. I don't even want to get into it. But odds makers, I think they're dialed in on this one. We look at the total set by odds makers this season when these two have matched up. The first game was a 206.5. That was October, like one of the first games of the year. And 203, 204, 200, 199, 206, 204, 202. And they're not really budging on the number that much. So, the fact that they did go to a really low scoring affair and they did put it back up to 200. There's two things that kind of gets me on that line. First of all, they didn't budge on it from their earlier perceptions throughout the season, but it was right at 200, which makes it kind of enticing because I don't know, it's almost like a psychological trick where you think 200, they can get over 200 points, and they could, I don't think they're going. I'm going under. I'm going under. So, again, remember what this segment's about. I'm going to give out my pick. I'm a 54% handicapper. At the end of the day, I know I'm going to be in the profit. We did hit our last one. We're 5-3 in the playoffs. 5-3. That means we have 3 losses. So nothing is set in stone. But I don't think the pace is going to be there, and I like how they match up. I think if this series goes along, it's just going to be more of a grind. It's going to be more of a grind. So I'm going to take the under 200 and a half. And as I say that, this is very important for me. Don't don't let me, talk you off a play. If you really like the over, back the over. Back the over because I've been known to be wrong at times. This is my opinion. I think I'm right. That's why I'm giving that pick. Okay, so let's see what we got here. I'm going to go ahead and start jumping into the comments. Let me get some coffee because that's important. I appreciate you guys coming in. Please share the video. All right, and what we got here? So we got Matthew coming in. Nice having you on TV. Yeah, it's good to be here. Thank you, Matthew. Andrew, good call on the Celtics. Thank you. Matthew, what do you think about the under trends? Will it continue? I'm an unders player. I like the unders because usually the unders goes against the public. I mean, when you see line movements in the NBA, actually any sports, because everyone wants to take the over in general. So I like to go against the public. I do. I mean, that's a tried and true handicapping, uh, you know, handicapping method to go ahead and bet. I mean, you can't just do it blindly because I mean the public could be right. I mean, 64% right now of the public, according to Sportsbook Review, is on the over. That doesn't mean the unders are going to hit. I kind of like the under going into this game. I was really curious to see where the line moved, and it hasn't moved. Really, not a lot. This is one of those games where we just haven't seen a lot of line movement either way. And Mr. ESPN, how do you find out what total the public is playing? That, my friend, is on Sportsbook Review, and that is why you need to check out Sportsbook Review. So it's if you go to sports, I think it's just Sportsbook. One sec. If you go to just sportsbookreview.com/betting odds, you'll see all the odds up there. And then if you just pull your cursor over the opener, you'll see the percentages across the board on where the public's at. Really cool little tool we have there. So check that out. What do we got here? Oh, okay. So Juan's giving some heads up on the Score app or more information. Thank you, Juan. And NBA conference premium. Do you check the refs? Actually, I don't really check the refs. I don't really. I did that a little bit last year with Major League Baseball. I checked the umpires because I do believe they can definitely, because some umpires just call more strikes than others. But it's a little bit tighter now in the zones. It seems they're a little more consistent. But for NBA, I've never really checked the refs. If you have an angle on that, I'd love to hear about it. I'd love to hear about it. Nowadays, it's just the way the trend of the NBA over the last few seasons, since first I think Popovich brought that pace and space when they beat Miami, a few years back when Miami had LeBron and they thumped them in that final game, and then the Warriors kind of they manifested in just whole new monster, and then the NBA started the trend just started to change as the game got faster, and it just gosh, I mean you can't touch anybody now. It's ridiculous. I miss the old Celtics Lakers Detroit Pistons hammering on each other. Good old fashioned hard nosed basketball. So I don't know about the refs, but I love to talk about that sort of stuff. Okay. Uh, let me see if I can get some more comments here. So thank you very much, Mr. ESPN. Oh my gosh. I'm not getting the Oh, there we go. You're real gambler. I salute you. Well, I mean, I'm a handicapper. I mean, this is what I do. This is part of my income. For me, I'm not like a whale or anything, but I have a sizable bankroll. I talked about it a lot on my Facebook Live page. But this is what I do. And again, I'm a 54% handicapper. I'm not going to win every day. I'm not going to win every week. I'm not going to win every month, but I am going to win every year is even tough, but I'm going to win most years. I'm going to win more often than I don't. And it's all about money management too. You really got to manage your money. But I'll get off on a tangent there. So let's stay there. Let's get off of that. I mean, let's see. NBA conference premium. All the trends point to the over. All the trends point to the over. Then I'm definitely liking the under. Again, and I appreciate the comment. And you guys, honestly, I don't want to talk you out of a play. If you really like the over and you feel you got an angle on it, that's what this is about. I'm giving out my pick, but guys, while I've done Facebook Live before, they've gone against me to some really good success. And when I'm on a bad run, you definitely want to fade me, because I'm not going to be hot all the time. So I like the under. I like the under. That's my opinion. And let's go to Juan, liking the Boston money line. Okay. And he corrected his grammar. Thank you, Juan. Francisco, good to see you. Isn't it time to reconsider your boys, Van Gundy and Thieves? I'm telling you, man, Thibodeau, that guy's killing me, man. Francisco, he's killing me. Gundy at Orlando, good at Detroit, no identity or player development. That Blake Griffin trade still perplexed me a little bit. Yeah, Thibodeau, man. Well, Houston's kind of a tough matchup for them. Kind of a tough matchup for them. Yeah, that's something I'll have to reassess. So Francisco knows he's been watching my segment for a long time on Facebook Live. I'm a big Stan Van Gundy guy. He's my favorite coach in the league. Second would be Pop. Um, and I also like Tom Thibodeau a lot. I liked him more when he was an assistant at Boston. But he's been struggling. That Minnesota team shouldn't be getting, with the talent they have and the veteran talent they have, they shouldn't be beat that bad. But gosh darn, Houston's a monster, man. D'Antoni he runs good stuff, man. He's tough, and they're playing good defense this year. Shocking. Mr. ESPN, you're the best. Okay, Francisco, since SBR bureaucracy doesn't allow you. Okay, so do you think the total is max? Okay, so I'm not going to talk about the Friday's game because I really haven't assessed it. I love how New Orleans is playing. Alvin Gentry has done a fantastic job without Cousins. I don't have an assessment on that one right now, though. But thank you, Francisco. It's good to see you, man. Adam, hey Charles, I see you are on YouTube now. Amazing. Haven't watched you since the baseball season, but here it is. Okay, cool. Thank you, Adam. Good to see you, Mr. ESPN. I'm on it now. Okay, Sean. Crucial to know your ump. Yeah, I think so. When it comes to baseball and handicapping, when it comes to totals and stuff like that, um, I think it's more important to understand the situation and the statistical matchups for the pitcher and the bullpens when it comes to totals. But the ump does play a factor. And some people are really good at that. I'm not. I'm not good at assessing the umpire and stuff like that. So if we'll talk about that more when the Major League Baseball season, when I really segue into that after NBA finishes up and we start hitting totals in Major League Baseball. So, but something we need to talk about, something we need to address. So thank you, Sean. NBA conference over is 11-1, following a Buck straight up loss. Okay, there's a trend right there. And again, over is 8-1 in the last 9 home games. Again, now I'm personally of the belief, since I've been doing this for quite some time, I don't really care about trends. I'll just be honest. I don't really care about trends because what happened yesterday does not dictate what's going to happen today. Just the fact that they had a really low scoring affair last game doesn't mean that they're going to have a low scoring affair today. So trends are great, but I think you really need to be careful because um, I just if anything, for me, usually trends. If you really go into historical data and check out trends historically, it's always going to come back to the medium or the mean. Okay, that's why if you look at the overs and unders historically, like the last 10 years in the NBA, it's like 51%, or it's like 50-50. It's like right there. So careful with those trends. They're great to look at. And they're kind of like, oh, well, hey, 11-1. So that doesn't really mean they're going to get it today. So I understand where the trends are going. Personally, I don't buy into that. Okay. Just to be heads up about that. Something you might want to dig into more. Trenton, what do you think about the Celtics run line and the Celtics run line? You mean Celtics money line, or you mean Celtics plus the points? I kind of like Milwaukee minus the points, honestly. I like Milwaukee minus the points just a little bit. I love that Celtics team, and Brad Stevens is freaking awesome. But I kind of like Milwaukee minus the points. And then again, Trent. Now, if you must probably missed the first part. I'm on the under. I'm on the under 200.5. I'm going under the total. Okay. NBA is laughing. Andrew, do you eat a lot of Japanese food? Well, yeah, I live in Japan. Yes, yes, I do. Yeah, I do. Yes, and I can speak Japanese as well. So thank you. That's a completely logical question. Sean, laugh at what the heck? I know, random question in there from Andrew, but we appreciate it. Thank you. NBA Stan is too emotional. He is. I still like him though. He's a hard guy not to like. He's a stand-up guy, man. And Sean again, different Sean coming in. Umpire plays a big factor. Good. We will definitely address that more for Major League Baseball. Thanks, guys. Great comments today. We really appreciate you guys coming in. And Sean Robertson, situation, pitching, weather, how lineups face against lefties and righties, sure, et cetera, is what I really look at when capping baseball. And that's all good. But let me share something with you guys. Do not forget this. Odds makers have all that information too when they set the line. Odds makers have all that information too when they set the line. And I'm a big proponent in believing that odds makers do not give away. They're not going to give anything away for free. The more information they get, the better line they're going to make. So as you're getting more information, they're getting more information. So that's why this line today with the Boston game, it really, like I'm saying, it looks intriguing to go on the over, but I think they set a really good line here. And that's how it is. The beginning of the year I think is a great time to go ahead and hit like plus money lines for basketball in college, especially college. Um, NBA as well, because the lines aren't super sharp. But as we progress through the season, you see the lines getting better, and that goes for the totals and the spreads. But yeah, Sean, you're totally on top of it, man. That's Sean Robertson with that comment. That's really good. Andrew, which sports do you focus your picks on in general? My top sport is NCAA college basketball. I crush March. If you caught me on Facebook Live at all, well, I guess you didn't. Other guys will attest. We crushed March. We ended up with an overall 55%, and that was through some ups and downs. We had a really bad January, and then we rolled March. I missed the national championship game. I had Michigan, but everything else we hit. Everything else it was a wonderful March. So NCAA basketball is my best sport. I'd say my second best sport. It's a toss up between Major League Baseball and the NBA. And let's see, Sean again. Oh, you live in Japan. That's awesome. Okay. In that case, not rent. Yeah. Okay. Oh yeah, you have to know the precursor of that question. Yeah, the fact is that I do live in Japan. And let's see what else we got. Okay, I got about 5 more minutes, and then I got to go ahead and hit the road. But let's get some more comments in here. Cali native Imperial. Why doesn't a line move even when 70 to 80% of the bets is backing on a specific team? Well, okay, that's a great question. Think about that. So why, if the public is all over a number and we're getting the percentages across the board and the line is not moving, well, that means there's probably because it's not about the percentage of people that are on the play. It's about the money. It's about the cash flow. So if the line hasn't moved that much, that means there's equal value of money going the other way. It's just not public. You understand what I'm saying? So the percentage doesn't match up with the money. If it was sometimes it does. Like if you see 60% of the public on the over and the line goes up, makes sense. But if it goes the opposite way, now let's say if it dropped now to like 198, that's called a steam move. And that means there's some big money coming in on the under. Now that hasn't happened. That's just for an example. That's a steam move. That means big money is coming on the under, but it's not the public money. If you get my drift, I hope that makes sense. It's about the money, not about how many bets are in on a certain team. Okay, okay. Let's see. Do you see the Mariners win today? I really didn't dig into that one. Baseball so much today. I've been kind of watching the scores since I got up here in Japan. Um, Paxton, man, Clevenger's pretty good. He needs a haircut. Um, or maybe he got one. I haven't really watched him this year. Paxton is tough, man. I like that guy. Paxton is really tough. I don't know. Cleveland's really good at home. That's a tough call. Let's see. Let's see. Are you on Boston plus the points? No, I'm not. I'm gonna mostly. Well, I'm gonna be on the under. That's probably it for me today. I might look at a baseball game later. And Sean, again, I took a huge public fade today with going with the Twins on the run line plus 115. Didn't they lost by one, didn't they? So I think you cashed, right? Didn't they lose by one, 4-3? Yeah, yeah, because the Yankees have been crushing. So nice call. Uh, and Sean, I know you got more there, but I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna move on. I want to get some more comments in here, but I appreciate you coming in. NBA conference, great total in baseball. Boston, Toronto under 8. Okay, that's from NBA conference. Randy H. Any plays for tonight in the NBA? Yes, Randy, you're coming in late. Come in on time. We're going under with Boston and Milwaukee. We're going against the public. That's what I'm doing. Do I sell picks? No. It's free, man. Not selling picks. You ask me on this, I will tell you almost every pick I will take. And when we get to Major League Baseball, I'll tell you all my leans. I'll tell you. But remember now, nothing's a lock. I'm a 54% handicapper. Let's do the math on that. That means 46% of the time I'm going to be wrong. Anwar Acosta. What's the best casino? You see a move in the Don Best screen. You know who moves it first. You have a casino. I don't know a lot about that one, Mr. Acosta. So I can't really answer that. I don't think proficiently enough. So let me move on. Thank you for the question, though. Sean, again, Boston doesn't shoot well on the road. They don't. Like I said, just over 44% on the road. Marcus Smart is back on defense. Yeah. Watch for defense on both teams. Everyone know the Greek freak, not the green freak. I know that's a typo. Gonna bust your. There it is. Oh, you did. You corrected it. It's going to get the ball at the end. Okay. Well, I'm on the under, so hopefully we're right. We'll see. I mean, honestly, guys, it could go over. It's a sporting event. It's a sporting event. I mean, maybe all their shots drop. I like how they match up. I don't think the pace is going to be very fast. I like the under. Let's see. And Sean Robertson, Clevenger needs okay. Needs a haircut. NBA conference. You're mute. Can you guys hear me okay? Sounds like I think everybody can hear me okay. Maybe you're mute. All right, Andrew, do you have a set days? Yeah. Okay. Andrew, do you have a set days as you go on live for YouTube? Yes, Andrew, great question. And we're going to end up the segment with this right here. Stark Raving Totals, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, Sundays, 4:30 p.m. Eastern. This is where we talk about totals, guys, and I appreciate your comments coming in. An NBA conference, I did get you. That was you. Okay, real quick, some last few comments here, and I got to get out of here. Anthony McCray coming in. What's the play of the night in either sport? Sean Robertson talking about the Mets game, and Acosta talking again. And okay, all right, we're gonna go ahead and hit the road. You guys, I really appreciate all the comments, but I got to hit the road here in Japan. So this is our segment here. Stark Raving Totals. I'll recap. Don't worry. Tuesday, Thursday, Saturdays, Sundays, 4:30 p.m. Eastern. And that's it for today. We got Boston, Milwaukee. We're going under the 200.5. You guys, great comments today. Thanks for coming in. And I will catch you guys real soon. All right. So we'll catch you on Saturday, 4:30 p.m. Eastern. One last time, Boston, Milwaukee, under the 200.5. Thanks for all the comments. Share the video, and we'll talk soon. All right. Take care, guys.